She's dead.
Yes.
She's dead.
She's dead.
How? How?
I already told you how. You already told us how as well.
How?
Did you kill Grace Mullane? Okay. Jesse Kempson, you're under arrest. Was your throat cut?
Yeah. Oh.
If you really wanted to die, you would tell us everything, because it doesn't really matter. Right?
It does matter because the wrong person got hurt. And my dad is suffering.
In 2010, George Huguely was taken in for questioning regarding an incident concerning his ex-girlfriend, Yardley Love. The 22-year-old lacrosse player had been found dead the night before by her roommate, and it seemed like she had been beaten to death. There were also signs of a forced entry into her bedroom. Many friends confirmed that George Huguely, who was also a lacrosse player in the University of Virginia, had shown violent behavior in the past and had been seen in the building that night. When police brought George in, they were confident he had been the one to do this to her. However, he didn't yet know she was dead. During the interrogation, he insisted he just went over to talk to her, but she was being difficult, even harming herself by knocking her own head against the wall. Although he admitted to shaking her, he said she was very much alive when he left the apartment he had forced himself into. Police knew this wasn't true, since Yardley had been found dead and her head and face were badly beaten. However, it seemed that she had been struggling for her life before passing. After the interrogation, detectives finally broke the news to George that Yardley was actually dead, and that's when he realized he was actually being questioned for a murder investigation, and he had also just admitted to killing her.
She's dead. You killed her, George. You killed her.
She's dead?
I think you knew that already.
No, I did not. She's dead? How the fuck is she dead?
Because you killed her, George.
How the fuck is she dead?
Because you killed her.
Oh my god. We're not here for any reason, George. She's dead?
Yes.
She's dead?
Yes.
She's dead?
She's dead.
How? How?
I already told you how. You already told us how as well.
How is she dead?
You just told us.
How is she dead? How is she dead? I didn't strangle, I didn't fucking hit her. How the fuck is she dead?
George was found guilty of second-degree murder, since he had been drinking the night before and insisted he had not been aware that he had harmed her so badly, so much in fact, he had killed her. To this day, he's still serving a 23-year sentence. When Grace Mullane took a trip to New Zealand, she decided to go on Tinder to meet new people. That's how she ended up on a date with Jesse Kempson, who after a night of drinks with Grace, murdered her and stuffed her body in a suitcase to dispose of it. CCTV had recorded the entire date night they had, as well as every single step he'd taken the day after when he bought a suitcase, got Grace's body out of the apartment building, and into a car he'd just rented. There was no doubt Jesse had something to do with Grace's disappearance, and when he was taken in for questioning, Jesse played the confused card with detectives. However, they were about to tell him exactly why he was there. This is the moment when Jesse discovered he had been recorded disposing of a body.
Hey, I just want to ask a question. Am I being arrested for something I didn't do?
You haven't been arrested, mate.
Oh.
No.
Oh, it's like, holy shit.
You were pretty specific
Yep.
about waking up,
Yep.
having been in a drunken stupor
Mhm.
at 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
That's you walking in with a suitcase,
Mm-hmm.
at 8:14.
Yep.
Yeah. Explain that.
I might have got the times wrong, but if you're assuming that I was using that suitcase for something, I've still got that suitcase in my room. And you guys can have it, if that's what you're assuming.
Did you kill Grace Mullane? Okay. Jesse Kempson, you're under arrest for the murder of Grace Mullane.
Jesse Kempson is currently serving life in prison for the murder of Grace Mullane. In October of 2009, 15-year-old Alyssa Bustamante encountered her 9-year-old neighbor Elizabeth Olton in the woods, where she decided to strangle and stab her to death. She then buried her body in a hole she prepared days earlier. After covering the makeshift grave with leaves, Alyssa went home and wrote about how she had just murdered someone in her journal, only to scratch it out with a pen afterwards. While the police were looking out for missing Elizabeth, they questioned Alyssa as she was one of the last to see her, and her inconsistent stories were enough to grant a search warrant for her room, where police seized her journal. However, she didn't know they had her journal, so during the interrogation she insisted she knew nothing about where Elizabeth was, until this moment, when her grandmother reveals that police half-flipped through the pages of her diary, and she understood they had already read how she confessed to killing someone on the day Elizabeth disappeared.
So, you said they searched your room.
Yes.
Other than marijuana seeds and that sort of stuff, did they find anything?
Nope.
Okay, did they take anything?
They took my sheet and
Okay.
a pillowcase, I
Okay.
think.
Did they take anything else?
I don't think so. I haven't really surveyed anything.
Okay.
I think they took clothes
Oh, they took a pair of pants.
and a diary. I mean, they gave us the list. It's not all coming to me what was on the list, but there's a long list.
Do you think they went through your diary?
If they collected it, then most likely. What? The only thing I can think of is embarrassing things that they find that got me. So.
We talked a little bit earlier about technology.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you write something down,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. Let's say you write it down in pencil, and then you take a pen and try real hard to scratch it out.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make it go away.
Okay.
It's still there. And forensically, and actually you don't even need a whole lot of forensics. If you hold it up to a light, you can see what was written. And then when that's processed forensically, every word, every stroke is still there. Do you hear me?
Alyssa then led investigators to the grave where Elizabeth's body was. She was sentenced to life in prison. After growing up in a very strict household, Jennifer Pan was tired of the high expectations her parents had for her, but she was afraid to confront them about it. So much, in fact, that she even pretended to attend university when she was actually working as a waitress and a piano teacher. Tired of spending her 20s still under her parents' strict roof, she made an irreversible choice. In 2010, Jennifer called 911 reporting a group of men had broken into her house to rob her family and had shot both her parents in the basement. Her father, however, had survived and was rushed to get treatment. During her first interviews with police, Jennifer's story was all over the place, and once her father woke up, he told police Jennifer had been the one orchestrating the whole thing and had actually been present when he and his wife were shot. In her third interview, she finally realized her whole plan had been discovered, and in this exact moment, she understood she was about to be charged with the murder of her mother and the attempted murder of her father.
We need to get down to why you have purposely told us a false description of number 1. Okay? No, Jen. It's totally wrong. And it was done on purpose. Okay? To mislead us. Okay? Because you're involved in this. Okay? You cannot deny that. Okay? You cannot deny that. We know now. But I can tell you one thing is that we already know, so you can't change that.
Why did it stop?
I know you did. But it got too far ahead of you, right? You didn't think this far ahead, did you? But once they started, once they came in, you couldn't stop it, could you? Could you? Jen?
Why did it stop?
I know. Why didn't they stop for you?
Jennifer was given a life sentence, which she's still serving today. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video interesting, please give it a like, leave a comment, or subscribe so you don't miss any other videos like this one.